why don't we move on to Rack City here for a second? Tyga, the legendary
T-Raw
album. Man, first album since what, 2016? Kyoto? Is that
but
right?
I guess it depends who you ask because no one gave a fuck about that shit, man. Kyoto, Bitch I'm the Shit too. Even the Gold album, everything since 2013 that Tyga did was largely ignored because it was bad.
Yeah.
And Tyga as a celebrity was waning at the time. So yeah, I can't say I listened to Kyoto, but I read all the reviews and everyone said don't bother, and I didn't. So, but I've been intrigued. I've talked about this on the pod before. I've been intrigued with the prospect of a legitimate Tyga comeback, and that started last summer, about a year ago now, when he dropped Taste with Offset, and got the video, and that song is just a ratchet banger. The video applies, as you can imagine, and it just gives you shades of 2011 peak Tyga, when he was, truly the third pillar of Young Money with Drake and Nicki under Lil Wayne, and, Make It Nasty, Faded, and Rack City, as you said, were just, top tier elite strip club anthems. And Tyga truly felt like someone who could dominate that space, like a Juicy J, And while he didn't get more famous as a celebrity due to his relationship with Kylie Jenner, which has its own issues, we don't have to adjudicate that. Musically, he really just kind of fell off after Hotel California. But it was always, I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of nostalgia for that time in my life when I was bumping all the strip club shit when I was 18. But I missed it, and I know a lot of other people that did too. So it was just the prospect of the Tyga genuine, legitimately good comeback was just really intriguing, and I feel like we kind of got some of that on this. What did you think? Because I know you're not as big a Tyga fan as I am.
Yeah, I enjoy his hits. You mentioned Taste. I think that's a good song. By the way, Taste over 630 million streams on Spotify at this point. That's wild. Insane. Rack City, brings me back to like senior year of college. A lot of nostalgia for that song. The Nowstalgia for Legendary, not as much. I found this to be a pretty, I don't know. It's weird because I listened to this and T Grizzly back to back, right? And we're gonna talk about T Grizzly in a second, but his voice is so like clear and commanding, and he comes through so hard. And then I listened to Tyga, and he just sounds like soft. He just sounds like he's coming in like this, and like almost ASMR after listening to T Grizzly in a sense.
He sounds like a guy who would get his girlfriend stolen by another rapper, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So I think for me, I just found this to be there were moments I liked. There's some decent features on here. But overall, especially when he had to carry the song himself, I was just kind of like, this is a bit of a snooze fest for me.
Yeah, and I agree. Like Tyga peak Tyga, he never, and this is sense of the mixtapes too. I know there's a lot of mixtape heads out there for Tyga, the Well Done series and all that, and he had a lot of fun freestyles and stuff on that. I can't deny that, but he's never had like a great project. He never had the consistency to deliver a true project. He's really been a singles artist, a hits artist, right? And I think just what stood out to me about Legendary is not that it's a good album, because I can't say that, but there's enough of just Tyga doing basic, passable, contemporary trap music that I'm like, all right, good. I'm just happy Tyga's back to like the bare minimum that we need him to be for people to pay attention. And I guess that's like qualifying it really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about this for any other artist, like that wouldn't fly. But for Tyga, I'm just like happy he's like approached back to like his general peers, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's passable. It wasn't like the worst listen I've had this year, but there were. I mean, some of his lyrics, dude, are also just like cringeworthy. On Stash, it's not the hallway, it's the whoreway. I like almost threw my phone across the room. I was like, is this something this guy, dude, actually just rap? Like,
this gives you ear cancer.
Yeah, exactly. I just couldn't take it. It also seemed like, you mentioned those trap beats, and there are some on here, but it also seems like he was trying to almost bring a more pop type sound, like that present kind of like I don't know, like island influence
Sure. Yep. That
into
makes
some of
sense.
it. And I was kind of like, all right, like I get you're trying to like you said, bring yourself back into the moment, but like it just felt like it wasn't necessarily something that was true to his identity, but just something more like, this is what people like now, so this will be listenable.
Right. I think the song that stood out to me was "Goddamn," which he actually kind of previously put out, but now it has an A Boogie feature. I like that. I think like the bridge into the chorus on that reminds me a lot of old school Tyga, so I really thought that was a fun song.
Hmm.
But the problem ultimately is with this album is that nothing is as good as Taste, and Taste is already a year old.
Yeah.
So I guess the shelf life of this comeback is maybe questionable.
Hmm.
We'll see how any of these other songs perform. Uh, Back to Stash, as you said, man, everyone knows I love Blueface, but he really did not help his. He gave his haters a lot of help here by totally ignoring the beat on that feature. My God.
Yeah. I also thought Lil Wayne on Me was sounded bored and also more high pitched than I feel like I've ever heard him. I don't
Yeah,
know if that was produced, but
Little
I just
Wayne
kind of was
board sounds like this
like,
decade.
yeah. Any features other than those two that are even worth mentioning to you?
Um, him and Chris Brown. Say what you will about Chris Brown, I'm certainly not a fan, but him and Chris Brown have always kind of had a good chemistry, both the
Mhm.
mixtapes and then the fan of a fan album, and I think that definitely will probably resonate with some fans. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's like I said, it's borderline passable enough to at least make me click on the next song,
yeah.
which was not where he was just a year, 2 years ago. So I guess it's a success.
Tiger's on the rise.